tag. You're it. This is the end of the road for my doctor.
Look at your hand.
It's a big, action-packed, multi-monster adventure.
Gold bullets, Chinheads! You think unit wouldn't be ready?
I felt like there was unfinished business between us.
This is the day you die.
I've talked before about how Yaz will always need the doctor, but there is moments like that in which you go, well, the doctor actually needs Yaz too. She's fine. She's fine.
I think for me and Mandy, this will be one of the best times of our entire life, and we know it, but it won't stop the heartache of it. But seeing it out hand in hand with her is one of the best things ever to happen to me.
Well, you're obviously one of the more determined of us.
Leader, scans detect a TARDIS. A doctor.
It's a funny one filming on wires. When we first did it at the beginning of this season, I think me and Mandy thought it was really fun.
Ready?
Ready.
And then now, there was a lot of please can doubles to it.
Could you not have got a less wobbly ladder?
Right! It's perfect!
When you do it for long periods of time, it's really uncomfortable. And what's odd is you're kind of acting the opposite of what the movement is.
Action!
They're quite tricky because it's like contradiction in what you're trying to do and what you physically can do.
Oh, yeah! What's a landing? 9.9!
And also we were in quite complicated costumes to film in, so we were in spacesuits with oxygen packs and there's a lot of wiring and things like that. So I think compared to last time when we were in our own costumes, weirdly this felt trickier to do.
Yes! Turn around!
There's a small section where Yaz saves Dan, because she's a hero, and she goes to grab him, but he's up on the wires, like, being taken off, and I have to grab him from the floor.
Don't get shot!
What?
Trying to pull John down whilst he's being pulled up by wires, whilst holding onto his boot that comes off, is really difficult. Everyone's like, when you deliver the line, can you look a bit over your shoulder? I was like, I understand that's a simple ask, but no. My helmet were massive like that. You've got strings inside your costume that stop you from turning. Trying to hold on to John that's flying in the air with his boots, so his boot's coming off at that point, whilst trying to turn like that. I think they thought it was being difficult.
Watch out!
So it'll be interesting to see, because I think for me and Mandy particularly, it spanned over a month to film the entire thing. So once it's all cut together, I think it'll feel like massively epic for me and Mandy, because we've spent what feels like a really long time doing it.
Do you know the great thing about tissue compression? It also works in reverse. That ain't just any Cyberman. It's a Russian doll.
When I read the scene where Ace and Tegan have to take out guns and shoot the Cybermen, I was thinking, yes, this is great.
Oh, and say hello to my friend Ashad. I killed him once, but he's forgiven me now.
Tegan!
I love the Cybermen. The Cybermen are one of my favourite monsters, and it was just a blast to work with them.
2, 3. Gold bullets, Chinheads! You think unit wouldn't be ready?
Of course, you know, when you're playing Ashad, you're going to have to expect to get into some action sequences and special effects. You have the special effects going on around you, literally. I know some of it's done in post, but they're happening live, and that gives it an extra sort of edge and an excitement.
Working with Patrick, with Ashad, was amazing because he looks scary as anything in real life. Nicest man in the world, but he is so scary.
Why isn't it working?
We long ago developed resistance to gold.
Patrick as Ashad is absolutely terrifying, really alarming. A lovely man in reality, but absolutely terrifying as Ashad. Very, very sinister, very threatening.
Run!
He's going to scare the hell out of kids and adults.
The Guardians of the Edge are really there to stop the Doctor kind of fully passing over into the next regeneration.
Well, you're obviously one of the more determined of us.
I'm sorry?
You refuse to pass through. Quite the strength of character, this incarnation.
Yeah, I mean, I've been watching it this morning. It's been incredibly moving and emotional and thrilling and funny. They've all got on like a house on fire. And Jodie told me that Colin Baker called her the boss, which felt like a lovely thing for him to do.
The question is, what are we going to do about it?
Do about what?
Our predicament. This is supposed to be handed over. You can't ruin it for the next one. And you were doing so well.
Particularly because it's part of the BBC's Centenary, because it's Jodie's last episode. I thought it would be lovely to reach out to those doctors.
Where am I exactly? Because the last thing I remember is being forced to regenerate.
That's why we're here, to stop you moving any further through.
And they all leapt at the chance, which is delightful and was really exciting, and all wanting to come and do a scene with Jodie.
You are not finished.
We are not finished.
It's really exciting. I think I'll be really nervous tomorrow when we shoot it, because I've had the joy of working with Joe Martin as another Doctor, but obviously that is all to do with our season, so the creations for both of us were done there and then.
We being?
Vestiges of your consciousness. Fragments of yourself.
From the past.
Guardians of the Edge.
Knowing that your very big shoes that were handed to you have come from these guys is wonderful.
Sorry, why are you not wearing?
I don't do robes.
There's always one. Has to be different.
I am a manifestation of our consciousness. I can wear what I like.
I think I'll be really nervous because it's such an unexpected thing.
This is the place you pass through during the process of regeneration. Go past here. There's no way back.
When I was reading it, I couldn't believe it was happening, and also because of the coding on the script, I didn't know who it was and who it was going to be, so then when I found out who it was going to be, it was brilliant, yeah.
Hello?
Put him in the bunker. Constant monitoring, full security detail.
Oh, the bunker. That sounds nice. I love a bunker. Anybody want to join me? Bunk up in the bunker.
I felt like there was unfinished business between us. So from the Master's point of view, I wanted to delve back into that.
Tegan Joe Franker. How's your Auntie Vanessa? Do you keep her in a little doll's house?
I'm going to enjoy watching you locked up in a tiny cell.
That's right, you tell me. And Ace! Or should I say Dorothy? Didn't the Doctor ditch you? No? Little fallout with your Machiavellian maestro?
Last time I saw you, you were half cat.
Man's allowed to experiment.
Take him away.
His master goes through quite a few iterations in this particular episode, and every single version that I work with blows my mind.
Hello, Doctor. Welcome to the end of your existence.
We were really intent on making sure that we raise the bar even higher by introducing more characters, more versions of the Master.
Forced regeneration, Doctor. To force you to regenerate into me.
And it made me think that maybe the audience hadn't quite seen my Master, as it were. And I'm still questioning at the end of the episode, have you still seen the real him? There's maybe moments when he shows his real self, but kind of getting into that and thinking about that opened up loads of opportunities.
I am the Doctor.
I think one of the things I was really intent on is whatever kind of version of Master I was playing, that I was totally committed to it. So even though there's a similar vein going through all of them, I wanted each of them to be distinctly different. You know, he's a master of disguise. He really embodies those characters. And it was really good fun to play, but in terms of preparation, I did a lot of prep trying to, make them different and understand each of their intentions, as it were.
I'm going to make the Doctor a byword. Fear, pain, and destruction. So when people hear that name in future, they will quake.
If you think I am gonna let you...
I am the Doctor now! I am the Doctor!
I kind of see him sometimes as a sad clown. He's a performer, and he gets real excitement and joy by wearing different masks.
I am the Doctor, and I caused this.
But even saying that, I was also interested in exploring
now
maybe when the mask slips and you do see the real him.
I raised you, Doctor. Don't let me go back to being me.
I can take aspects of what we've done and almost reinvent him again. I think that's one of the things I wanted to do, and if I ever continue playing the Master, I'm going to continue doing it, is constantly taking strands and reinventing him, keeping the audience guessing, keeping them on their toes, keeping them excited, and that's the real joy I get from it, as long as it's truthful.
But if I can't be the Doctor, neither can you.
Doctor, look at your hand.
That's not right.
Mandip getting the part of Yaz is one of the best things to ever happen in my career, because I have spent 3 solid years, I'm gonna cry, with one of the world's best human beings.
One last trip. Where would you choose? What flavour ice cream?
And she is going to be one of my best friends for the rest of my life. And the fact that we're both leaving at the same time is really emotional. Treasuring your friendships and treasuring jobs that are not a guarantee and have been such a pleasure. I think for me and Mandip, this will be one of the best times of our entire life, and we know it. And I think we're both very ready to leave, but it won't stop the heartache of it. But seeing it out hand in hand with her is one of the best things ever to happen to me.
I don't want it to end.
A wise person once said to me, goodbyes only hurt because what came before was so special. Oh, and it's been so special.
It's hard to realise that it is the last, because we're so used to stopping between series and starting again. It almost feels like that's what we're doing.
Oh, I have loved being with you, Yaz. And I have loved being me.
It's taken 4 years of my life. It's been the best 4 years. Me and Jodie are so close. We've travelled to different countries to film together. I know we are going to be friends forever, but we're not going to work together every day. And it's been amazing. We have such a laugh. We're such good friends.
Let's not say goodbye.
I suppose there's a real loneliness to it, but in that there's a sacrifice, because you know the worst bit's coming, so you don't want to do that to somebody. And I think for both of them, trying not to say goodbye will be really emotional. And particularly, we're filming it on the last day, it's the last scenes, we're filming in story order, that's the only day we'll do it where it'll be in story order. And, there's quite a bit of fun with the scene with Mandip. Even though it's an emotional scene, we've got an ice cream, which I don't know practically how well that's going to shoot, in the sense of it might be quite awkward having a melting ice cream while you're having an emotional scene. But I'm quite excited because I've requested mint choc chip. So.
I haven't thought about it Because to me, it feels like we're going to come back in a couple of months, and I think it'll only really hit me when I'm like, oh my God, I don't live in Cardiff, I don't go to work, I don't hang around with the crew, and I'm not bullied by Jodie.
To work with all the Doctor's friends, it was just really, really great to see them all. It was lovely to be part of that.
But I came back and I actually can't tell anyone because they'd have me put away. And that started me thinking, though, I can't be the only one. I can't. And look, I'm not.
And some form of therapy session for all of the Doctor's friends. It was really great, and I really liked that scene.
And I reckon there are more people out there too. So maybe this is where we share stories about the Doc.
It was just a great mixture of people there. It was a really beautiful day.
I will also say I may want to recruit you for some work.
To be able to have William Russell as Ian Chesterton, who's there right in the first episode in 1963, and to be able to have him come back in and to be in Jodie's final episode and to really illustrate that idea of the Doctor never leaves you and the Doctor's impact on your life never leaves you, just felt fantastic.
Dan, I've only been back a month, and I gotta say I'm glad I'm not on the verge of being exterminated anymore. But I do miss her.
It was incredibly moving to be part of that, particularly with the Ian Chesterton character. I found that, yeah, terribly moving.
Sorry. Did you say her?
It's so lovely that people like Katie Manning and Bonnie Langford came up as well. It's just like, it's really a gorgeous thing and you know, a very emotional day on set.
How many Doctors are there? I think we're going to be here quite some time.
I was a bit gutted that was scheduled on an afternoon where I wasn't in, obviously, because I'm not in the scene. So I just made sure that came down so I got to meet all the legends. And it was incredible, because you're just in a green room with the history of the show and the future of the show with like Mandip and, you know, and John and Brad. So yeah, it was really incredible, and I think it was amazing that they managed to schedule it so that everybody could do it. And I think for the fans, it's going to be a real treat of a scene.
You okay?
Is she okay?
And you always know when you're playing the Doctor, you're going to read your regen.
Gonna take him one last sunrise.
And it's beautiful and it's sad.
Of course she's okay. She's the Doctor.
But it's everything you want it to be and more. Now I've seen it, now I've read it, and now I know there's no avoiding it. I've got 2 more days before I shoot it. I think it'll be one of those things where when I see the other Doctors tomorrow, it's one of them things where, weirdly, I don't know what it's like yet, but only those people know what this is like. And I think the fans always deserve this reburst of energy. So whoever comes in and plays the Doctor, that's what is necessary, and people play it and they leave it, but it doesn't make it any, even though you know that is a part of your job. And it's a part of every part you ever play, but there's just something so grief-ridden when it comes to this particular role. And I think until I've done it, I can't kind of imagine what it'll feel like.
The blossomiest blossom. That's the only sad thing. I want to know what happens next. Right then. Doctor whoever I'm about to be. Tag. You're it.
Don't forget to click below and subscribe to the official Doctor Who YouTube channel.